the only video where you will get the actual details of this deal and how this changes the live streaming space and the entertainment world forever. You do not want to miss a second of this. People will miss a lot of details.
Ça va être très clickbait, mais I'm ready.
Only be caught by an insider. So we are going to break everything down, starting with what this deal actually is. Because on the outside, it looks like a streaming deal that just pays Xqc to go to another platform. But that's not what it actually is. What this actually is the most interesting and the biggest influencer marketing play of all time.
Yep.
So Xqc,
Définitivement, man,
has, by doing one deal, has put themselves on the map in influencer marketing. Consider that $100 million. We're going to talk about this in a second. Maybe that deal isn't actually $100 million. It doesn't actually seem like what it might be. We're going to break that down in a second, so stay tuned for that.
Okay, I'm ready, Mr. Devin Nash.
Times, Forbes,
New York
Sarto,
Times.
And this is just PC Gamer. This is just the
Made in Québec en plus.
Hours.
Si vous voyez comment c'est à streamer en anglais, demandez-vous pas pourquoi.
Of this, as of the time of this recording, this is going to be
pas pourquoi.
Every single big outlet is going to cover this, and that is exactly what Xqc is planning on to put them on the map. So if you understand one thing about what this deal is, this is Xqc's Hail Mary.
So anyway, guys, stream is gonna be in English for the last next months, so just be wary of that. We're gonna make some big bucks on Xqc, and we're gonna bring the bag home
to get on the map and be a legitimate competitor to Twitch. Now, the New York Times,
we're bringing the bag home, baby.
Estimated $70 million, and if you look at the article, they say signing a 2-year contract, roughly $70 million contract with incentives that could push it to the total to about $100 million. Said his agent Ryan Morrison from Evolve Talent.
Jesus, fuck, man.
What does that mean? Let's break down the actual deal structure and tell you what this deal actually looks like. From me myself, I am also an agent. I formerly ran a talent agency. I now run a brand agency, and I'm going to guess what the deal structure is, but I'm gonna almost guarantee that I know exactly how these agencies do this work. I've done.
La source des Paint, ben non, mais il a copié and paste l'article dans Paint, guys.
So we're gonna break down.
Utilisez votre cerveau, man.
Is gonna make perfect sense. So first of all, let's get the stuff that we know, and then I'll do the math. Okay. So we know that it's roughly $70 million over.
Fait que 70 millions sur 2 ans, fait que 35 millions par année.
30 million in incentives, and we're gonna discuss what those are in a little bit. So up to 100. Okay? And I think those 100 are probably going to be so extra 30 mil.
Ça va être des trucs de performance, puis des événements, puis des sponsors de gambling.
There is an association with
sur Stake, c'est ça?
Gambling incentives or hours gambling. Now, the big thing to understand about this deal is that this deal is most likely an hourly deal. That is to say that there is not what we would call an MG or minimum guarantee associated with the deal. There is probably a signing bonus, and I would put that at like 10 million, maybe 15 at most. So like here's.
Il y a juste Get Rich. Le problème, c'est ça, c'est qu'il n'y a pas Get Rich. Il est déjà riche. Genre, yo, est-ce que vous avez vu sa maison, man? Est-ce que vous avez vu sa fucking maison? Ben, ça, c'est son ancienne maison.
Main entrance. Nice little stairs. From the other side. Room here for creative stuff. Mudroom. That's living room. Kitchen. Must be nice. Here's the coffee table, or like breakfast table.
Ça dehors.
Outside. Oh, look how disgusting it is.
Checkez-moi le petit terrain, man. Il y a du terrain en crise là-dessus. Mais c'est le bordel, par exemple, chez eux, mais tu sais, comme c'est une grosse espace, ça c'est sa chambre.
Look how nice it is.
Une salle de bain.
Bathroom.
Huge ass salle de bain.
Could have been better with the shower, to be honest, but it is what it is. And then just closets.
Un garde-robe, man, une salle de lavage. Il va pouvoir acheter une plus grosse maison. Je pense pas que ça sert à quoi d'avoir une maison grosse de même, là. Honnêtement, là, il est tout seul en plus. Là.
to be here. Okay, so there's an upfront, but probably not a minimum guarantee.
En plus, il est tout le temps dans sa streaming room, là. On s'entend, là.
Basically, every deal that Kick has signed so far has been an hourly deal. We've seen dozens and dozens of these deals show up on Twitter, and indeed, they're offering a flat hourly rate to almost anybody that verifies for their partner program that's above like 30 to 50 concurrent viewers. So
Jesus. Est-ce que je devrais... Chris, pour vrai, j'ai legit le goût de commencer à streamer sur Twitch parce que il y a eu de quoi qui est sorti il y a 2-3 jours qu'au Canada, man, à ce paraît, on se fait payer un split de 30%. Fait qu'on se fait payer 30%, puis Twitch prend 70%. Mais ça, I might be wrong, là, mais il me semble qu'il y avait de quoi qui se passait avec les affiliates et les partners canadiens qui se faisaient moins payer.
An hourly deal, and I can almost guarantee it is.
Aztec, peut-être le McDo commande par erreur. C'était un glitch, ça. Il avait commandé. Ça avait mis l'item 4 fois, je pense, dans sa commande. Son frère capotait.
Like agencies, they love to choose these like big round numbers, and so they're just going to end up on something like this. Now, Felix streamed 3,029 hours last year on Twitch. Okay, so then you just take the hourly rate, 10,000 times 3,029, and you get a pretty easy number. 30,290,000.
Holy
times
shit!
That by 2, right? Well, actually, we're not done yet because but it's gonna be. This is 1 year, okay, and it's a 2-year deal. We know that. So then you look at the subs that he gets, okay, and we're gonna assume that he's making 100% of his sub revenue in the Kick contract. That's fairly common for these larger creators, and it's already 95.5 anyway, so it's like not too much sweat for Kick just to say here you get 100% of your sub revenue. With Xqc's current numbers on Twitch, that puts him monthly at 327,044 or 3,929,805 per year. Okay, so then you just add up the which basically puts you to 34,219,000.
Yep, le gars il va faire la pièce, man.
So if you just
Holy
add
shit,
that
guys.
times 2, right, and you figure, okay, it's going to be about 34,219,000 per year. Multiply that by 2, you get 68,439,000.
Moi, il y a fucking... Yo, Dead Pixel, si vous écoutez ça, man, pourquoi vous me payez pas? Si je mets votre logo à droite, en bas, à chaque fucking stream, j'ai reçu 0 piastres de vous, mais tabarnak de trucs... Non, c'est vrai. Guys. Dead Pixel me paye pas, man. Les Chris. Je peux pas me... C'est moi qui se paye moi-même.
610. Boom, that's the deal. That's how they got to 70 million. So 70 million, and then the 30 million in incentives is the part we don't really know. And that is, I would just be guessing. I think that some of that is going to be just kind of like events, like Xqc mentioned he wants to do like viewer Shark Tank stuff, or like he can pitch that kind of stuff, so there's some payment there. But if I were to guess,
j'imagine même pas les impôts. Yeah, ça doit être bad, man.
Kind of like
mais au nombre d'argent qu'il fait,
like
sure qu'ils s'en foutent.
That, again, we'll see like what happens there. Xqc might just like gamble on his own. It's really a question of where that 30 mil actually sits that we just aren't going to know and anybody can speculate on. But what this means is that this is, I just want you to understand what a brilliant marketing play this is from Kick. Because Kick is getting all of this earned media.
Ça va nous payer des belles routes.
In the marketing world, earned media means...
Mais je pense que c'est résident des États-Unis, actually.
Impressions you don't necessarily pay for. So people like me that are making videos about this, undoubtedly there is going to be videos from every content creator about this. It's going to be talked about across Twitch. It's going to
ben oui, c'est sûr. Même à TV, là.
It's going to be I mean, people like LeBron, right, are going to talk about this. Like, how is this kid getting more than my signing was for an NBA team? Like, that's going to be the kind of news. And we're going to get into in a second into how that might be a real.
Il reste au States, ben oui, il habite au States.
That's going to be the discussion, right? So the earned media from this is massive. It's second to
none. Il habitait à LA pendant un bout, mais là je sais plus il habite où.
Digitally, that comes even close to how much this deal is going to be talked about. We're going to see this on every business podcast. We're going to see this on every publication that's possible. There's going to be talk about this ongoing for a very long time. And so what Kick has done by setting up an hourly deal is they're basically saying, yeah, sure, we'll pay you the rate of like $10,000 per hour. And I'm pretty confident that's the number. It's really close to it because the math just works out almost exactly. And that's basically been confirmed by their agency. So if you look at that number,
10 000 $10,000, c'est fou, man.
And he might actually stream 3,000 hours. But Kick knows that he has to split his time.
Guys, faut que vous compreniez, Xqc, là, Xqc stream pas pour faire de l'argent, man. Xqc stream parce que c'est un fucking DJ, il aime ça gamer, il aime ça se faire des streams de 20 heures. Il fait pas ça pour l'argent, man. Il fait ça parce qu'il vit que pour ça. Le gars, genre, il fait des streams de 24, 29, 26 heures, man, non-stop. C'est un esti de dégénéré, man. Ce gars-là, là, il vit que pour le streaming, genre. Fait clairement qu'il va le faire son 3000 heures par année, là. What's up, Atamos? Comment ça va, man?
Is a non-exclusive deal. He's going to be streaming on Twitch at least some of that time, as well as on Kick. And over the course of 2 years, especially if you're younger, at some point the money just like doesn't become an incentive. Like the difference in the quality of life between like $50 million to like $70 million to like $100 million.
Ça change rien, man.
It's like 25. Maybe he decides that his community on Twitch is better, or maybe he decides to like stream a little bit less. Like Kick is probably not going to end up paying out this like entire $70 million. And that 30 minutes of it,
même si le pot complet, on s'en fout, man.
It could be very difficult to get. It could be locked behind events, or it might be just money that gets like filtered back into gambling, where they just like refill his pot or whatever. We don't know. But that 70 million is unlikely to actually equate.
Ça va bien, pis toi, ça va bien, man.
Now let's say that it does. Kick probably still earns $70 million just in earned media impressions. It's not even about like, you have to ask yourself, okay, if they're giving 100% of the revenue back to Xqc and they're paying him this much, how the heck does this make sense for Kick? Well, it's because Kick just overnight became a competitor to Twitch.
Yep, like exactement. En ce moment, là, il y a 3 big guys, ok? En ce moment, il y a Twitch, il y a YouTube, puis il y a Kick, man. C'est la première fois depuis des années que Twitch ont peur, man. C'est la première fois depuis des années que Twitch ont peur, man, puis que ils doivent backtrack sur des trucs parce qu'ils sont comme Chris, on est en train de perdre du monde, il y a plein de streamers qui s'en vont streamer sur Kick. Puis là, Twitch commence à paniquer. Regardez hier, man, il y a une annonce de Twitch qui a été faite hier, si vous ne saviez pas. Avant, les partenaires Twitch, ça faisait 70% du sub-revenue. Donc, 70% de l'argent qui se faisait avec les subs, les partners, ils l'avaient. Là, cet été, ils ont fait un changement. Ils ont dit finalement, on va prendre 50%, puis les partners vont avoir 50%. Puis, là, à cause de ça, ça a fait bien de la merde. Puis là, cette semaine, vu qu'il y a eu trop de merde avec Twitch, ils ont inventé le programme de partenaire plus. Donc, ils disent que si pendant les 3 derniers mois, tu as plus que 300 subs à chaque mois, des subs uniques, ça peut pas être des gifted subs, il faut que ça soit vraiment des subs qui payent de leur poche. Si tu as plus que 300 subs par mois pendant 3 mois, tu peux te qualifier pendant 1 an pour le programme Partenaire Plus qui te paye 70% de l'argent que tu fais des subs puis ils prennent juste 30. Fait que là, Twitch commence à avoir peur, Twitch commence à être désespéré. Ils backtrack sur des affaires qu'ils ont faites cette année. Ils backtrack sur des politiques de sponsorship. Ils backtrack parce qu'ils se rendent compte que Kick, à cause de ça, ça a donné un gros boost à Kick. Puis, si on regarde, là, je pense que c'est Kick users. June 2023. J'écris New Kick users, ok? Kick.com users. À ce qui paraît, là, il y a plein de monde qui se sont. Je sais pas si on va le trouver là-dessus. Check. We just doubled all of our all-time 24 hours, 24 hours sign-up record. Je pense que je sais plus c'est combien, mais je pense qu'il y a 300 000 personnes en une journée qui se sont inscrites sur Kick, man. quand il y a eu la nouvelle, là, comme quoi que les sponsorships, que tu pouvais plus faire de burned-in ads, quand il y a eu la nouvelle politique, je pense qu'il y a eu 300 000 personnes qui se sont inscrites sur Kick.
Themselves on the board. And we're going to discuss why that's going to be a problem in the next section. Because this section is now how this changes Kick.com. So if you were in the entertainment world, or you were in that space, you know, some people on Twitch have heard about Kick, and maybe if you're watching this video, this could be your first exposure to it, or maybe you're a frequent goer of this channel and you follow marketing stuff, so we're on new platforms, we're aware of this stuff. Kick is a tiny drop in the bucket compared to Twitch. And just to like put that into perspective, so Twitch has about 724,910 live streams per day. Okay,
Tabarnak, man.
Way more average viewers versus Kick having about 110,000 live streams per day. Most of those at 0 viewers or to 10 viewers. Now, with the time that Twitch has been around, which is almost a decade, and Kick basically being younger than a year, it's actually incredible that the total live streams equates to about 7 on Twitch. That's unbelievable. And the platforms like Mixer, which was Microsoft's effort to compete with Twitch, and even YouTube Live may not compete with these numbers. So I'm not saying that like, Kick isn't like really doing impressive, but they aren't anywhere close to Twitch's market share. This move will change that, and there will be a bunch of...
Tu sais, Xqc puis Kai Cenat, là, c'est les deux personnes les plus regardées de Twitch. Imaginez Kai et Signe avec Kick aussi, man. Twitch vient de perdre leurs 2 plus gros content creators. Mais en fait, ils vont streamer encore sur Twitch, mais le monde, je pense qu'ils vont être plus portés à aller sur Kick parce que ça encourage plus le streamer.
Of stuff happening at Kick, and the first thing that's going to happen is heat. Heat, and I mean, it's going to turn up the fire
Dude, man, Twitch va envoyer le feu au cul, il va être comme tabarnak, qu'est-ce qui se passe, man?
Everybody is going to
We need to do something.
Every federal agency, every single group, everybody. So Twitch, in its infancy, survived by watching movies, doing whatever you want, because no one really knew about it. And so for a long time on Twitch, you could stream Lord of the Rings, you could stream whatever the hell you wanted. I mean, I remember a director at Twitch at the time lit a chair on fire and peed it out on live stream. Like,
what the fuck?
Crazy stuff back when I started streaming in like 2011, just on Justin.
Who the fuck does that?
Basically anything. And what happened over time was more attention got on Twitch. Articles got covered, like in the New York Times, about Twitch. There was a couple of scares. The music industry turned their heads. People in the entertainment industry turned their heads,
man.
And they were like, "Hey, like we got to start regulating this platform." Guess what's about to happen to Kick right away? They just accelerated themselves into oblivion. Every single right now, like on Kick, like as you watch this video, there are full movies being streamed. There's like borderline pornography.
C'est la jungle, man.
There's like crazy platforming of issues that I can't even talk about without getting demonetized on YouTube. There is some insane stuff going on Kick. And I can't even stress enough how much of a problem it is. It's such a problem that our brand agency, Nova, which is our agency that works with brands to put influencer marketing dollars into great projects, we can't spend on Kick because there's just too much of a brand risk. And I'm not even saying like brand risk in the way that you might think about it. I mean like nobody, even our most risk-tolerant brands, will spend a single dollar on Kick because of the crazy stuff that goes on there.
Ça, c'est vrai. C'est ça qui est un peu dommage. C'est ça qui va mettre un peu un frein à Kick. C'est que, tu sais, oui, c'est difficile à gérer. Même Twitch, là, on chiale beaucoup sur Twitch, mais Twitch, là, comment tu veux qu'ils gèrent tout, man? Il y a tellement de users sur Twitch que c'est tough à gérer. Mais, si Kick est prêt... En fait, si Twitch continue de se planter, ben Kick vont commencer à grossir de plus en plus. Puis c'est ça qui est dangereux. C'est qu'à chaque fois, c'est comme quelqu'un, tu sais, c'est comme quelqu'un qui a eu sa job, ok? Quelqu'un qui a eu sa job, à chaque fois, imaginez-vous, à chaque fois qu'il y a quelqu'un qui aime pas sa job, a une journée de merde, puis le soir, elle arrive chez eux, puis là, elle s'en va sur Job Illico, elle s'en va sur Indeed, puis là, elle commence à checker des jobs, elle applique pour plein de jobs. Ben, il y a du monde qui font ça à chaque fois que Twitch fait une connerie. Il y a plein d'autres gens qui vont voir ailleurs. Fait que plus que Twitch fuck up, plus que Kick va prendre de l'ampleur, plus que Kick va avoir de momentum pour prendre... Ben, pas pour prendre le monopole, mais pour enlever du monopole à Twitch. C'est ça qui est un peu scary, là.
The illegal stuff that goes on there. And that is about to go up to 100 over the next couple of months. The music industry.
Là, tout le monde va voir, vont faire Chris Xqc fait 50 millions, man. Je vais aller streamer sur Kick. Tu sais, le premier réflexe des gens, ça va être de faire ça. Est-ce que je les blâme? Non. Est-ce que c'est intelligent comme move? Peut-être pas, je sais pas. Je suis pas un professionnel, guys, mais sacrément, man, le nombre de personnes qui vont aller streamer sur Kick après la 11 d'aujourd'hui, ça va être insane, là.
Previously had never turned their head at Kick, that has been endlessly bothering Twitch, that forced them to do a ton of deals, that changed everything about Twitch. There was so much DMCA drama, there was so much danger there, is going to turn the eye of Sauron immediately on Kick.
Yep.
And likewise,
Oops.
all of these entertainment industry people, they're looking and saying, wait, what do you mean Lord of the Rings? What do you mean the Avengers is being streamed on here? And they're going to turn and they're going to be like, what we're going, blasting. And you have to understand that Twitch has a lot of rules in place to keep them in something called safe harbor with most DMCA. That means that Twitch is regularly banning content that goes on there and basically making a best effort to ban movies.
YouTube aussi, d'ailleurs, gars, je me suis déjà fait DMCA par, tu sais, le gars qui fait la tune du Titanic dégueulasse à la flûte, là, ce gars-là m'a déjà DMCA strike, man. Ce gars-là a fucking... Il y a un copyright sur la tune de Titanic dégueulasse joué à la flûte, man. Puis Cramp en masse aussi, ils m'ont DMCA parce que j'ai fait jouer Crève mon sale pendant un stream sur Dark Souls 3, man. Sur Elden Ring. Cramp en masse, man, ils ont dit, yo, faudrait que tu take down la vidéo, bro. Genre, ou que tu te démonétises, c'est comme, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck, man?
To ban things that are going on that might be illegal, but Kick is not doing any of that. In fact, Kick is basically encouraging people to do that. And I don't mean that like officially. I mean like there hasn't been an official statement, but they are not policing it, right? Like the worst you might get for doing something crazy is like maybe like a 24-hour ban. But literally the largest broadcasters on the platform with over 30,000 viewers were streaming the Super Bowl and nobody stopped them.
It is, man.
There wasn't even a single warning. This is the kind of stuff that Kick has got two choices. They are either going to button up or, oh man, are the police. The 5-0 is coming. And it is not going to be pretty. Because they basically, you say, well, look, Kick is an Australian-based company backed by Saudi Arabian oil lords. So, like, what's the danger? The danger isn't necessarily to Kick, although I would argue that these agencies could go after U.S. properties. So, notably, the Kick is hosted by AWS, which is an Amazon product. They would very easily go to AWS and say, hey, this platform is streaming movies. Stop it. And then AWS goes, oh, okay. Like, nobody opposes the feds. Okay? Nobody. That when when we're talking about they say, you always talk about they, like, oh, yeah, they might come for you. They're they. That's the they. And they are going to say, AWS, don't protect Kick. Knock it down. Sure, boss. No problem. And then Kick goes, oh, we'll just go to Cloudflare. Guess what? That's a U.S. company too. We'll come after you. Until you host your servers in Zimbabwe, they're going to be coming after you. But it doesn't end there. What happens if they host their servers in Zimbabwe and they can still keep going? Totally fine. Then the agencies go after the individual streamers. And because they don't have the safe harbor in route, what happens is these agencies start going after Xqc for doing illegal. I mean, he literally just said, like, we can watch more movies over there, right? And that's the Xqc. If you were watching this video, man, if you listen to anything I've ever said, okay,
Xqc fera pas ça, man.
Do not go over to Kick and watch movies and full-blown stuff like just months into your new deal, dude. Every single eye is going to be upon you.
Yep.
You are a crazy person if you don't think that the feds can touch you. I know you're Canadian. Okay, but you're between the United States and Canada, which share many different agreements and many different laws. You are doomed if you do that. As is a message out, I'm sending a message out to every large Kick broadcaster. The smaller ones usually get away with it, but I can't recommend that. I don't recommend that, especially as an agency professional. The larger ones, you are doomed if you start doing this stuff in the next 6 months. I guarantee you. They are going to, don't think just because Twitch got away with it. There was so much that happened behind the scenes to protect broadcasters. So that is number one. Kick is going to have to change substantially if they plan to survive the amount of attention that's going to be on them, which is not going to be good. But they're also going to have to clean up.
On va aller checker Kick vite fait, là. Kick. Comme. Xqc, man. Xqc en ce moment, il y a 62 000 viewers, guys. Il écoute Hell's Kitchen.
Up clear
Man, that's
brand risk.
crazy.
So there are
C'est
streamers,
temporaire, c'est son
notable
premier
streamers,
stream. Non,
who
je
will
sais,
be
là, mais
30,000
quand
to
même. Là.
40,000.
Tu sais, tu comptes, il est-tu sur Twitch aussi en ce moment? Is he on Twitch right now? Il est live sur Twitch? Non, il est pas live sur Twitch en ce moment. Il est pas live sur Twitch.
1,000 viewer range that are platforming absolutely crazy.
Le monde qui switch de
stuff.
plateforme ont perdu des
Again,
viewers. Ouais, mais on s'en fout. Xqc, peu importe le nombre de viewers qu'il est payé genre 100 millions. Je pourrais streamer pour... Dude, j'ai streamé pour genre une personne pendant genre 3 ans. J'ai jamais été payé. Tu me dis, on va te payer... tu me dis, on va te payer genre fucking 50 millions pour 2 ans. On va te payer 100 millions pour 2 ans. Dude, je serais down de streamer à 0 personnes à chaque jour, man. Sign me the
I
fuck
can't
up.
even talk to you about, because if I told you about it, I wouldn't even be able to have a career on YouTube. It's that bad. And none of there's no advertiser, there is no brand that is going to touch Kick with a 10-foot pole until those people are cleared up. And the problem is that a lot of the executive management at Kick thinks that they can just sort of coach
Ouais,
these
mais on vaut
people
cher.
into the
On est les meilleurs viewers
into
du monde,
being
c'est vrai.
better. But the problem with that
Vous êtes des si bons viewers,
what I
man.
call the Arkham Asylum problem, okay? So, like in DC Comics, is one of my favorite things in the universe. I'm going to get a couple of nerds here talking about this. You've got Batman. And Batman captures villains, puts them in jail, and then, wouldn't you know it, they break right out and they start causing havoc again. And this happens again and again and again. And there's been many storylines that kind of explore, man, maybe we should just like stop these people entirely. Like maybe we should just end them, right? And I think that there is a solid case for deplatforming some of the people on Kick when they have just repeatedly done this, because
Je pense que le plus gros problème de Kick en ce moment, c'est qu'il y a des gens problématiques qui streament sur ce site-là, genre mettons Aiden Ross, Andrew Tate aussi. Non, Andrew Tate il a streamé sur Rumble, je pense, hier ou avant-hier. Mais yep. Et, my god, man.
because they're just going to break out of Arkham and cause these problems again and again and again. But Kick's management doesn't believe that. They believe they can kind of coach these people and they can get through it. And the problem is like that works until it doesn't. And you have a truly bad actor that brings down your entire platform. And there are some bad actors in mind who I can think of right now on Kick that are just going to cause those issues.
Aiden
and
Ross.
I think until those issues are cleared up, again, with the amount of attention that is on Kick as a result of this, it is going to be all but impossible for brands to put any money into it. And all but impossible.
Oui, mais ça, c'est pour l'instant, man. S'ils clairent leurs affaires, qu'ils font le ménage, parce que je pense que le truc, en fait, c'est que vu que là, Xqc est là, il va y avoir beaucoup plus d'œil sur Kick, ça va être vu plus sérieusement, vu qu'un des plus gros streamers au monde. Vu qu'un des plus gros streamers au monde est sur la plateforme, je pense que là, Kick vont faire genre, ok, là, on doit implémenter plus de règles, on doit réguler qu'est-ce qu'on a le droit de faire, qu'est-ce qu'on n'a pas le droit de faire. As-tu dit... Ben non, j'ai pas dit ça. What the...
To ever make any kind of money. Now, there might be like
éclaire
0.01%
leurs
of
affaires.
brands.
Come on,
but
guys. Don't try to put me in hot water. Prochaine fois, c'est un
I'll
time-out.
from an agency perspective, just running a brand agency.
Essayez pas de me faire dire des affaires que j'ai pas dit.
We have some very risky brands that we work with, and they took one look at Kick and we're like, no way. There's absolutely no way that we are going to do that.
Ah non, man,
so
merci.
That's the first thing to understand about like how this is going to happen and what is going to happen to Kick. Now you know the deal structure. So the next thing I want to talk about is what is going to happen to Twitch. There's a lot of questions about this and how this affects Twitch, and I'm going to break that down for you right after this call to action, which is, hi, I'm Devin Nash. Like I said, I run Novo. That's a brand agency that does influencer marketing across many different platforms. So if you are a brand and you want to reach out to us and you want to do some work with us, we spend advertising dollars in efficient ways with influencers. But I go further than that. I also create YouTube videos about stuff like this. And I use my agency insider kind of information to kind of like inform these videos, or at least I do a lot of these similar deals. So if you like that kind of thing, go to patreon.com/Devin Nash and support me for $5. I've made over 90
buckaroos, mesdames et
videos
messieurs.
teaching about business and marketing and everything I know. $5, patreon.com/Devin Nash. That is not a meme. Average video is like 30 minutes. Super good. And if you don't want to do that, you can also support me by joining discord.gg/Devin. Discord.gg/Devin, which is a business and marketing server where we discuss stuff like this. So please join me on Discord or Patreon, and thank you everybody for your support. This is what we call the secret call out at 19:05 minutes, meaning you're still here in a Devin Nash video.
19:05,
And I
man.
appreciate you. Leave a comment and let me know. We're going to move right into the Twitch section of how this will change Twitch and what will happen to Twitch.
Twitch va paniquer, vont devoir backtrack sur plein de shit, vont devoir faire attention à ce qu'ils font. That's pretty much it.
Well, the first thing this is going to do is it will force action from Twitch. One of my friends and people that is pretty intimately involved in Kick, named Trainwrecks, correctly identified this and said that this is going to be a big deal because it is going to make Kick a legitimate competitor and a legitimate worry for Twitch. Why? Well, because Felix himself represents
Twitch.
About 2 to 3% of the total viewership on Twitch.
Si on montre qu'au final, les usagers changent pas tant de plateforme. Mais je pense que Twitch vont vraiment devoir se botter le cul, man, puis régler des problèmes parce que le monde, tu sais, comme il y a plein de content creators qui sont rendus. Tu sais, comme mettons, il y a plein de YouTubers. En fait, il y a plein de personnes qui streamaient sur Kick qui sont rendus sur. En fait, qui streamaient sur Twitch qui sont rendus sur YouTube. Tu sais, il y a Valkyrie, il y a Courage JD, Dr. Disrespect, pis tout. Tous ces gens-là sont tous rendus sur YouTube. Là, il y a Xqc qui va streamer sur Kick et sur Twitch. J'imagine qu'il va continuer à streamer sur Twitch. Je sais pas pourquoi il ferait pas, parce que tu sais, comme. Ça serait pas winner pour lui, mais tu sais, il peut multi-stream. Puis si Twitch font fuck you, tu multi-stream pas, il va juste faire ben Kick me paye mieux, fait qu'il va partir. Je pense pas qu'il va continuer sur Twitch, je sais pas, mais on va voir. Mais tu sais, c'est ça, fait que tu sais, comme Twitch est en train de perdre tous leurs gros streamers, là. Tu sais, comme Doc, elle amenait beaucoup de monde. Valkyrie, elle amenait beaucoup de monde. Tu sais, imaginez Pokémon à Switch, à Kick ou à YouTube. Il va revenir dans 2 ans avec son 75 millions, peut-être, mais est-ce que Kick va avoir grandi pendant ce temps-là? On ne sait pas, ça va être où, tu sais. On va voir, on va laisser la poussière tomber, puis on va voir ce qui va se passer, mais je pense que ça va être intéressant en crise.
That's a lot of people. So Twitch is going to take a look at this, and this is not the first deal or the last deal that Kick has signed. And they're going to say, man, we are losing a lot of people. And plus, we've banned some other people, like notable people like Destiny, who are now doing very well on Kick by streaming there, as well as having a non-exclusive deal on YouTube. Twitch has really backed themselves into the corner with the simulcasting thing. Now, Twitch will tell you that they have removed contractual exclusivity, but that is not true. They have simulcasting. So, yes, you can, in theory, in your contract, stream on Twitch, end your stream, and then go over to YouTube and stream, but you cannot do those two things at the same time. Because of that, some people have just decided to drop Twitch entirely and said, you know what, I'll go make more money over on Kick, or I'll go make more money multi-broadcasting, especially for smaller streamers. Some of you who watch my videos, you know that your discovery is going to be better, your monetization efforts are going to be better, a lot better on those platforms where you multi-stream instead of just putting all of the eggs in one basket on Twitch. Likewise, people like Destiny, who are a controversial broadcaster who was banned permanently on Twitch, is now doing better on these multiple platforms, both accepting non-exclusive deals from people like Kick and Rumble, as well as broadcasting there. So now this sort of
Rumble,
group of people is all kind of forming on Kick, and that means it has a network effect. A network effect is a marketing concept where multiple popular people or things get together and cause more media and attention. It basically saturates out. So you
Exemple, la crypto, man. Quand les célébrités ont commencé à acheter des NFT, puis tout le monde s'est pitché là-dessus. Puis checker maintenant, man.
You have Xqc, Destiny, Trainwrecks, Aiden Ross, all these people of this kind of certain same demographic in the live streaming world.
Moi, dans un monde parfait, okay, on reste tous sur Twitch, OK? Puis Twitch sont obligés de faire un peu plus attention à ce qu'ils font. Puis ils ont des meilleurs deals pour leurs affiliates puis pour leurs partners. suite à ce que Kick a fait parce qu'ils ont eu peur. Moi je veux pas que Kick détruise Twitch. Je veux que Kick, qu'est-ce qu'ils font en ce moment, ça fait en sorte que Twitch devienne une meilleure plateforme. Basically. Moi, c'est dans un monde parfait, c'est ça qui arrive.
Are going to happen on Kick. More stories are going to happen on Kick. More news is going to happen on Kick. That means more videos are going to be made about stuff that happened on Kick, where maybe Deserto makes an article.
Mais non, c'est un meilleur deal pour les partenaires avec le Partner Plus. Mais c'est pas un meilleur deal, c'est le deal qu'il y avait avant, qu'ils leur ont enlevé puis qu'ils leur redonnent, mais juste 300 average, 300 subs par mois. Donc dans le fond, c'est un truc qu'ils leur ont enlevé il y a quelques mois puis qu'ils leur redonnent. Fait que dans le fond, c'est juste un autre step back qu'ils ont pris sur une décision conne, genre.
Maybe on Reddit, there's a linked clip that is from kick.com instead of every clip right now, which is linked from twitch.tv. So that's a big difference. That network effect is really coming into play here with this $70 million deal. And Xqc is going to kind of be the leader of that. And like, you got to bet yourself that today, every single agency on Earth is messaging Kick right now and saying, hey, how about this influencer? How about this influencer? What do you think about this kind of deal? What do you think about this non-exclusive deal? Because Kick has kind of ingeniously set themselves up for a play here where if they just offer everybody blanket hourly contracts, hey, non-exclusive, stream as much as you want, they get all this earned media. If the people stream on Kick, great. They get all the viewers. They get all that attention. If they don't, still great. All these announcements go through. All these earned media go through. So now I'm delivering on the promise of what you saw in this video, right? You now know what the real motivation here is. So Kick, you're going to be like, well, at what point are they going to make money? And I don't know that they never need to make money, okay? They're backed by Saudi Arabia, which really only cares about influencer plays. They got billions and billions of dollars. They're investing into esports. They're buying up most of esports as we speak. They're investing in esports teams, which are currently failing. They're getting them at bottom dollar rates because that's what they're worth. And so they don't really care. Kick also is backed by stake.com, which is a massive gambling platform. And if you have to understand, there's a concept of marketing called LTV, which is the lifetime value of a customer, okay, or LTC, or LTVC, however you want to kind of pronounce it. We just sort of make up acronyms as we go along in the agency world. And the lifetime value of a customer means how much money they're going to spend over the lifetime interacting with your product or service. Well, gambling lifetime value of customer is extremely high, which is why if you can use Kick as a sort of front website to just pull people into gambling, knowing that Xqc gambles, knowing that basically all of the prominent people that they've kind of signed over to Kick at these big landmark deals have been prominent gamblers.
Tu sais, il y a un truc que j'ai de la misère. Il y a beaucoup de monde qui disent ah, moi, j'encourage pas Kick parce que c'est backé par stake.com. Là, t'es comme OK. Mais là tu regardes un peu, tu fais un petit background check, tu regardes la personne qui dit ça. Là, tu fais ah, tabarnak, qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Chris, cette personne-là a participé à la phase des internets, man. C'est qui fait la phase des internets? Ah! C'est, garde. Yep. I don't know. I wonder who. Regarde, it is what it is, man.
They know that some percentage of those people, and they've got the math on the back end, are going to move over to stake and they're going to gamble with these people, and their lifetime value of the customer is going to be within the thousands of dollars. So that's why a lot of people are going to say...
Je peux pas comparer l'Auto-Québec et stake.com. Non, mais c'est parce qu'il y a du monde qui disent que c'est du gambling. Il y a du monde qui disent à cause que c'est du gambling. Le monde, ils disent pas, c'est parce que stake.com, c'est pas régulé. C'est pas. C'est un casino crypto. Je sais. C'est un casino pareil. Le but, c'est pas que c'est un casino crypto que le monde cherche, c'est littéralement que c'est un casino that's it. Il n'y a jamais personne qui est chialé parce que c'est de la crypto, blablabla. Le monde sont juste, ben, c'est du gambling, c'est bad. Là, c'est comme, ben, mais. Tu sais, l'Auto-Québec, c'est du gambling aussi, puis. Il y a du monde qui s'inscrivent à la phase de l'Internet qui chiale sur stake.com. Comme quoi que c'est du gambling. Puis c'est pas parce que c'est un crypto scam, blablabla. C'est legit, le monde sont pas informés. Puis ils disent ben moi c'est parce que c'est du gambling. Puis t'es comme oui, mais l'Auto-Québec c'est du gambling aussi. Puis il y a la phase des Internets. Puis genre, c'est sponsorisé par l'Auto-Québec. Puis genre, tu sais, comme, vous dites rien. C'est ça que je trouve un peu con, genre.
Here that, well, why doesn't Twitch, because remember we're in the Twitch section here, do 70-30 subscriber splits across the board? You might say, you know, we're kind of expecting, like well, surely Twitch is now going to announce 70-30 subscriber splits across the board in response to this, because Kick is currently offering 95-5 and YouTube already offers the 70-30 split. But if you actually listen to a lot of the people that are kind of the insiders within Twitch, notably you can look at the former head of partnerships, who's also a friend of mine named John Howell. I deeply respect this person. Writes on Twitter, I don't think people understand that 70-30 across the board is literally not sustainable. Streamers are anti-ads and refuse to run them at a volume that would allow Twitch to be fair, with the revenue-paying viewers directly spending to watch you. Probably have to be close to 5 to 6 ads per hour to make sense. The CPMs, which are the costs that they pay for ads,
Mais à la face,
vary
pour
so
mon pas de
dramatically by
gambling,
season,
Kick
you know,
9,
that
9 sur
private
10%
ads
des
like
streams,
in
c'est
the US
littéralement du
would
steak
need to make a
gambling.
difference up at other places. Unfortunately, the markets with lowest CPMs also are most expensive to serve videos to. So you've got the former head of partnerships saying outright, we can't.
Ça, je suis entièrement d'accord. Je suis entièrement d'accord avec toi. Je suis d'accord, man. Puis moi, je suis le genre de personne que je trouve que le boycott, c'est carrément stupide. Je trouve que le boycott, c'est imbécile. C'est legit. Ça ne fonctionne pas, man. Parce que si tu commences à dire, ah ben là, je vais boycotter telle affaire, parce que c'est du gambling, là, t'es comme, ah shit, man, faudrait que je boycotte. Tu sais, comme, il y a souvent du monde qui donne l'exemple. Tu sais, comme, ah oui, ben, tu sais, comme, tu boycottes telle affaire parce que ils traitent mal leur employé, mais tu t'achètes un chandail au H&M qui a été fait par un enfant qui travaille, genre, à genre 10 cents de l'heure au Bangladesh, tu sais. Tu peux. Genre, tu sais, comme. Tu peux pas, man. C'est juste comme. Il y a tout le temps. Tu peux pas être parfait puis tout faire by the book, genre. Tu sais, comme moi, je boycotterais pas. Tu sais, je boycotterais pas Kick parce que le trois quarts des streams, c'est du gambling. C'est pas du gambling que je fais, ça me touche pas. I don't give a shit, genre. Moi, s'il me paye, puis à la fin de la journée, j'ai mon split de sub, je vais m'en crisser, ils me payent, puis ils sont corrects avec moi.
Sustain 70-30 as a platform. But Kick can certainly sustain 95.5 because the lifetime value of the customer moving over to stake is so high. And that now you sort of see how powerful the offering of Kick and stake are going to become in this battle.
Tu sais, comme j'ai dit tantôt, moi, dans un monde parfait, Twitch a juste s'améliorer en mesure de ce que Kick fait. Puis Kick devient pas la plateforme que tout le monde va streamer dessus. Moi, j'adore Twitch, puis c'est pour ça que je stream encore sur Twitch, puis que j'ai pas move à Kick comme certains autres streamers. C'est parce que moi, j'aime Twitch, j'aime l'infrastructure du site, j'aime la culture du site aussi, les emotes, les gifted subs, puis tout. Puis je trouve que Twitch, c'est vraiment la meilleure place pour streamer au niveau de l'expérience puis de comment tout fonctionne bien avec Twitch. J'aime ça. Puis Kick, ça me fait chier parce que j'ai de la misère à setup un bot. C'est ça qui fait que je reste sur Twitch, c'est que je suis comme Chris, tu sais, j'ai du fun, j'aime la culture que la communauté Twitch a bâtie. Tu sais, j'ai vu Twitch partir de Justin TV puis devenir ce que c'est aujourd'hui quand même. Là, j'ai un attachement à Twitch, je veux pas. Là.
Twitch really only has ads to bring their platform up and the kind of exclusive ability to sell those ads to those live streams. And that's why we recently saw that brand change where they said for a brief moment, you can watch one of my former videos on this Twitch's ambition to control your content. They said, yo, like, we're going to control that now. You can obviously see that now they're trying to incentivize ads. They're trying to push ads so high. But meanwhile, like, Kick doesn't have any ads. And they just sit there, and they could even serve like 1/10 of the ads that Kicks, if they ever get any people to sponsor them. But they could serve like 1/10 of the ads that Twitch does, and they'd be fine. But meanwhile, Twitch is pissing off its viewers. So Twitch is in a hard place. Twitch has to compete with a platform that has an infinite backing from gambling and doesn't really care about being profitable on the same level that they do. They're fighting a different war. So it's just a different battle. So it's a pretty crazy situation. So Twitch can't do the 70-30 subscriber split. That's not going to happen. You're going to see a bunch of coverage about that. Like, well, now surely they're going to do it. Not going to do it. So we've already discussed that this represents a 2 to 3% loss in total viewership. It encourages Twitch to do further monetization options going forward. I was going to make a video about that. I still might, where Twitch has just recently announced that for their mid-sized creators, they are going to do honor a 70-30 split of subscriber revenue up to the $100,000.
Yep, ça c'est pour ceux pour le Partner Plus programme en plus.
Mostly mid-sized creators. Doesn't really affect anybody else that much. And so Twitch might be expanding its monetization options and looking at how they can compete with Kick, but ultimately they are beholden to Amazon.com's dictatorial, I mean, like, absolutely draconian profitability metrics. Well, like, you have to make money as a company. You have to make it this way. You got to do it off of your ad networks, and there's no stake.com to come save you. So Twitch is going to have to be really creative on how they do this. And while I do think they're moving forward, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. So that is what I think will happen to Twitch. I think that another thing is that Twitch probably won't ultimately lose a ton of market share.
Ah non, probablement pas.
I'll be reporting on this as the...
Moi, je pense plus que ça va être un gros scare qu'un effet, tu sais. Je pense pas que ça va être un ripple effect dans toute la sphère du streaming. Je pense vraiment juste ça va être comme ok, ouais, on devrait être un peu plus humble parce que on pourrait avoir de la compétition, tu sais.
Months go by. I don't anticipate that Kick is going to be like a 30 to 40% total competitor, whereas like right now it's about a 7 to 10% competitor with Felix of the total market share of people that watch streams. Streaming as a platform isn't like really growing anymore. The people that kind of know about live streaming and can donate the time to it are already doing it, and it's growing a little bit, but not like it did during COVID and not.
Le boom du stream pendant le COVID, c'est fou.
You kind of have your market share.
Tout le monde était sur Twitch.
I don't think that Kick like realistically moves up to like 30 or 40% market share. That would represent a higher market share than Mixer, Facebook, and YouTube in their prime combined, which only represented like less than 10% of the market share. Although Kick is already doing quite well, even 10% to 20% market share is a massive blow to Twitch and will turn a bunch of heads. Now, again, there's an X factor here where this deal is, you can't estimate the amount of earned impressions, the amount of attention that this deal is going to get. This number, most people are not going to watch a video like this and really understand that this isn't truly $70 million or $100 million, right? They're just going to see that headline, they're going to go, whoa, what the hell? And then they're going to be like, man, that's crazy, and they're going to go look at Kick. So the next few months for Kick might represent a massive exodus from Twitch for live streamers, especially if Kick manages to officiate and make that hourly deal available to all potential partners. I believe there was I wish I had a source on this, but I had to make this video very quickly. But I believe they were offering something like $15 to $20 an hour for any partner that moved over that met their requirements, which was something like 50 to 100 concurrent viewers and some other stuff that could whatever matches their verified program. Somebody can update in the comments, or I can update later on that. But they are planning to offer an hourly program to all partners to pay for
Excusez, je viens de remarquer, les sites sont partis.
Some reports anonymously from some people, both personally and from a lot of the people that I talk to, that the payment for those hourly things is a little bit shaky. So obviously, if you are a small content creator considering making this move, consider that Kick is a platform that is not beholden to USA laws and payments and terminology, and can pretty easily mix things up like with accounting. Now, I'm not accusing them of anything or saying anything like that. It's just that, like, the analogy that I would use is you look at someone like Twitch, and even though I'm not a big fan of Twitch, they are beholden to U.S. law. They're a California-based company. They are going to have
based in Seattle
that are regulated, and you can bet that if you have a payment,
le siège social est à Seattle,
they are going to give that to you. Now, Kick, right now, as of the time of this recording, is more like the meth head in the alley that's like, hey, bro, I'll give you $50 if you come over and talk to me for a while. He may very well have $50. He may give it to you. But he might also disappear, or you might see him licking his socks in 10 minutes. That's really the analogy you need to think about as you kind of like contemplate moving over as a content creator to Kick. It's certainly a much riskier thing, and you might like be really tempted by the numbers that they put up. But the sheer amount they have to grow, they could be completely all within their rights, and they could be like completely above board and like they just want to do the right thing. But the sheer volume and the sheer amount of payment they're going to have to do and process, and the accounting teams are going to have to honor,
Ça va
and
être
the
fou,
amount of
man.
streamers they're going to be interested in it is going to create problems that they may not honor just by virtue of that. And that's assuming they're like 100% legit. So there's going to be a lot of problems there as content creators kind of like moving over. And if you've got a real good thing going on Twitch, you may not want to like drop everything there right away. So there's gonna that's I think it's a really important thing to keep in mind for like content creators. But
Yep.
this changes the board. The big thing here is that this is probably the greatest influencer marketing move in history. And I say that with
J'ai hâte de
deep
voir,
respect to the people that structured this deal. It's amazing. The amount of earned media from this is going to be the X factor that
J'ai hâte de
really
voir
could
que ça va
take
donner,
Kick.
man.
The way I'm going to be wrong, and that Kick actually owns like 30, 40, 50% of the market share. God, it's unimaginable right now. But with all the mistakes that Twitch is making repeatedly, and just all the negative PR, and all the streamers' mentality, and the splits, like maybe they do it. And if they're going to do it, it's going to be through like a Hail Mary like this big push, the world's biggest influencer marketing play. Wow. I mean, I'm impressed. If it sounds like
Ça va
I'm
rien
excited,
changer, on
I
verra,
love
man.
marketing. I love how attention flows and how this works, and I just
On
think this is
verra.
probably one of the coolest moves I've ever seen for a platform to do to get attention. Now, like we talked about, not all that attention is going to be good. And over the next couple of months, it is going to be a total... it's going to be a mess, and I can't wait to watch it all. So I'll be keeping you posted here on the Devin Nash channel. Thank you, everybody, for coming out, and I hope this video provided context that you couldn't get anywhere else. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Alright. Mixer a ramassé Ninja. Mais Ninja, man. On peut se parler de Ninja? Ninja, c'est le plus gros streamer au monde, man. Il a signé un gros deal, il est devenu family friendly. Ninja, il a dip, man, parce qu'il a fucking... Ninja, il était déjà en déclin, man, puis il est devenu family friendly. Il a signé des brand deals. Le gars, il avait des chandails chez Walmart. Le gars, il pouvait pas, man, il pouvait plus être lui-même. Il est devenu fucking family friendly, puis le monde, à un moment donné, ils ont fait « Ah, ok, ben, ça feel fake, genre, fait qu'ils ont tout arrêté de le suivre. » C'est pas un huge move pour rentrer dans l'argent avec les 75 millions qu'ils viennent de dépenser. Mais stake.com, dude. Stake.com, puis ils ont du backing, puis tout. En tout cas, on va voir, man, que ça va donner. On pourrait en jaser pendant des heures et des heures, mais à la fin de la journée, man, on sait pas ce qui va se passer. Tout pourrait arriver, man. Tout pourrait arriver. On fait juste spéculer, là. C'est tellement volatile comme deal que we never know what could happen.